Greetings, mortals. I am Natas, the ruler of the underworld. The end of the week is upon us, so it's time that we talk about some manga chapters. And let's not be around the bush and just get right into it with Shy, chapter 133, titled "What Are What You Are to That Girl," which can be referred to many characters in this chapter, which is actually a very good chapter title for once. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off with Shy versus Stigma, with Shy immediately using a duplicate ability on herself, the one, the whole multi-jitsu ability. She makes two copies of herself as they go up against Stigma, as Stigma uses Holy's, what would you call the subject the substance that Holy's weapons are made of? Light? Let's go with light, since I think in the anime they just literally make them use the same animation style. Well, because they use Holy's light weaponry or style with a bunch of like crosses, and I think he even uses like one of the crosses as like a blade sort of weapon against Shy as they go into a bit of a clash. With him also shooting at areas wherever he's close enough, far enough from us to point that bow and arrow would be an effective way. And during this clash, we have Shy and Stigma talking because that's how fights always go in anime. They always have to. We have the characters can do whatever kind of fighting style they want, but they will all be able to yap and yap and yap until they lose in a fight. So we have the two of them talking while they are fighting against one another. With Shy questioning what exactly is Stigma to May. Stigma responds to this question by basically asking Shy the same thing, like, "What are you to May?" Since I guess because from what we understand, since I guess from Stigma's perspective, Shine is kind of like a weird sort of being in May's life where she's like the sister, so she would be close to her their sister. They should be close to one another, but clearly they are not that close because May was being able to be overcome by Stigma, and Shy doesn't know all the burdens that Shine had. Shine, Shy, why the heck did they have to maybe have the same superhero names or so similar superhero names? But regardless, and Stigma also says that he's more closer to May than Shy is because he is been with her since birth, while she is just something a person that's came afterwards. So yeah, he is saying that, which does kind of strike a chord with Shine because it lets her guard down, and Sting was able to use the opportunity for that to strike her with her arrow, what he was on his arrows, whereas one of the clones pushes Shy away. As then we have like a little joke about we have like the dramatic rescue sequence, like you pushing someone out of the way, and then you get finished off. As we don't have Shy doing that, but because it's the same person, she's like, me! And she's being pushed out of the way from the arrow. So, yeah. As then Stigma also says that Shine is that he is Shine's sin, so that he is the sins that she's been carrying on, because what is the worth of a hero who can't save every life? So basically, we're going with the My Academia story, but instead of trying to be optimistic, since it's more of a negative way, since it's being reasonable that you can't save everyone, and there's also the whole people can't save everyone, they kind of feel guilty because they have the power but they can't do it, which is kind of like an interesting sort of connection between Shy, and Lady Black, because because in the backstory with Lady Black, we had like her mother express like if you cannot help people, then you're useless and you're in a way and all that. So it's kind of similar mentality as like Shine. Like she has the power to save everyone, she wants to be a hero, but she can't save anyone. It's like with Sweta's backstory. Before Shy only found her after she was already dead. Like she was already in a river frozen cold, and there was no way Shy could have come in and saved. So it's it's like those kind of mentalities coming all together, together and connecting each other in a very interesting, good way. So yeah, there's definitely a theme here that's being finally fleshed out and explained, and I'm guessing this isn't gonna be concluded in this battle. It's probably gonna be some kind of resolve to get Lady Black's powers back. I mean, I know for that because again, I saw some of the Ross for a while now, and the Ross are very old at this point. But yeah, it's kind of meant the situation going on right now. So yeah, and while they are talking and fighting, I think Stigma was able to take over one of the clones that Shai made. Because remember, she made two of them. One got killed, and the other one has been gone taken over. As that clone goes to attack Shai, and this point, Stigma is pivoted from he's close to Shine and more going in the direction of trying to mentally weaken Shai so he'll get more advantages, saying. That May, well, Shy is kind of just a nuisance to her sister. She's an ugly little girl that, well, supposedly she's extremely popular with girls, but because she's an ugly little girl who can't do anything on her own, who always needs someone else's backup. That's why she used the powers to make copies of herself because she couldn't, because she wanted someone else to come and help her. So, and that kind of hero is unnecessary and useless. So he took over the copy, and he's now going to have the copy attack Shy, and Shy is unable to dodge this time because he also used his he used the light powers or noise powers to take control of Shai's legs, so she'll stay still as the clone goes to cut her down. So yeah, and then at that point we cut away from the battle as we then focus on Silk versus Kufufu as we start see Kufu lay on the ground without a hat, like just but everything below her hat remains while her head's completely missing. As we also see like a clown on the floor with its hat ripped off. As Silk starts crying, like, "Oh please, Kufufu, don't be that! Please don't tell me you die! Oh my God, it's so horrible that we are." Fighting and doing his crying fit, as then it's revealed that the reason that Skufu was not that, like she was just like doing the whole when you like have a fake hat that's like a fake hat on top that looks like, oh, you decapitated someone, but in reality they just hit themselves tuck their heads down in their shirt so they would actually be a little bit below. That's basically what Kufa did. As shy as Kurofu responds to Silksuk that she doesn't want Silksuk to keep crying because she doesn't like cry founts and all that. She wants laughter and all that, and Silksuk is very much the opposite. So you can kind of see why these two are clashing now, since Silksuk is always crying. I think his epithet is also like endless sadness or something. Well, Kufufu is always being happy and all that, so it's kind of like a sad face, happy face kind of thing going on here. As after Kufu reveals that she's not that yet, he then tells her they should just stop fighting since she can't beat them with the raining and all that. And that I also imagine Kufu is more of like a straight. I would say straight brawler because she's more of a trickster, but she also uses like a lot of very basic blunt objects kind of ways of fighting, while blunt and sharp objects to fighting, while Silk Circuit is made of water. So it's kind of like a combat power set advantage with the two of them. Then Silk says that he doesn't want to continue crying, so they should just stop. But yeah, Kufu isn't going to stop because she doesn't like what Stigma is doing. So, but she does recognize that she's in a disadvantage, so she goes all Yu-Gi-Oh on us. As Kufu's like, it's my turn. I draw. I summon Fake Svata, which brings out Papasha as Papasha has been, I guess, just drinking some tea since she does no beer left. He's like, wait, what? What's going on? As Kufu grabs Papasha's hand, he's like, Fake Svata, use ice attack. As Papasha's like, wait, Kufu, what are you talking about? Wait, what's going on? I thought you told me. And as then they use ice attack against Silk to blast them, since water versus ice. Well, ice usually has the elemental advantage. So yeah, as then Papasha is like, wait, man, Kufu, you told me not to use my mother's ring because everyone, because secrecy, and then you get in trouble and all that stuff. As Kufa explains, oh no, I told you not to reveal that you have the ring because I didn't want Stigma to know that you have that we have the Sweater's ring, because otherwise he'll probably want it and take it like he did with Inoue. Makes me kind of wonder if this is before Inoue died, or before or afterwards that Kufu decided to keep Sweater's ring secret, but whatever. They have the whatever. The reason is Stigma is the reason why she didn't want to reveal it, and now Stigma's not present because he's fighting with Shy. So instead, she just decided to use it against Silk since he could win. As Kufa acknowledges that she's in a lot of trouble against Silk in a fighting. As we end this chapter in a dramatic sense, as we have Silk like that kind of dispersing that ice attack that was at him, with him being very having this like demonic shadowy face kind of eyes, like, oh, you're in trouble now expression, as it's going to be Silksail versus Kukfu and Pasha, aka Silksail versus a mother and a daughter. So yeah, I don't want to be kind of building up to a chapter or something that has Kufa referred to Pasha as a mother, because they're kind of all over the. Since there's like a lot of comments that names that Kufu has been using to Pasha. Like, I don't think she has ever has Kufu ever referred to Pasha as a mother. I think she called her a drunk once. I think she called her a idiot, maybe also Reta's daughter, a Russian doll, I believe. It was also what she called her last time, and now she calls her fake Sveta. So yeah, we were gonna see what she was going to refer to her. So yeah. Anyways, that's the end for Mashai, as then we get to a this time for Torture Princess, chapter 250, title Torture 250. Which is surprisingly a torch chapter, despite this being more on the lines of torches being cancelled type chapter. But regardless, it is still a torch chapter. As we start this chapter off by telling us that once again the idiot scientists at the Demon Castle somehow screwed up and created a gas that made everyone well, the best way I can describe, everyone in the castle got sleepy, and now they are all take a bath, needing to take a nap, as Vanilla is there to explain to Princess why what's going on right now, as she's as Princess is like, oh, so once again you can start to screw the fuck up because they are incompetent buffoons. Maybe there should be some consequences for this type of screwing up, as Vanilla doesn't agree, but pretty much they both should be saying this right now. But then as they are talking, they see that Torture and that assistant guy are coming there, even though they are very clear still asleep. Like, they both have their eyes closed, and they're both like mumbling as they're both in their pajamas. They like basically they're sleep torturing, uh, torturing Princess right now. So yeah. Oh, by the way, in case you wonder why Vanilla is awake, it's because Vanilla was actually at her family's play. Well, she was at her house, which wasn't in the range of being affected by the whole sleeping thing. So she was able to escape that. I guess there's also like the explanation of why in the previous chapters where something happened, why she wasn't. How was Princess informed of this type of stuff? I mean, granted, okay, the one that comes to mind is when they were the age knowing to children. So I guess, I guess a baby demon showing up saying, "Hey, everyone was turned into a child. The tortures may or may not be cancelled. I am not entirely certain, but anyways, that's just why everyone's a child now." But yeah, I guess. Actually, no. In the anime, they didn't have Vanilla also be de-aged into a child, so I guess maybe Vanilla was present at that time. But whatever. We currently they are all sleepwalking, with Vanilla being awake because of not being present when the whole bomb went off, and now has to go back to work because I guess maybe thought that maybe she could replace Torture in an emergency, since Torture was asleep, but since Torture is sleepwalking, there is, I guess, that over puts her in charge of Tortures again. But whatever, Vanilla then goes to work, As Princess says, "Oh, but you're such a good girl. I should do my best as a prisoner as well." As Axe brings up, "You're doing your best as a prisoner? You mean submitting?" And as Prince like, "No, no, no, I'm not gonna submit. I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to submit." But we all know she's gonna end up submitting. As then we have Torture saying it's time for Torture, but Torture doesn't talk when she sleeps. It's kind of like one of those. So yeah, that's not what she's saying, but it's also like they don't really, they don't. She doesn't say it in a coherent sentence. But but the guy, the Frankenstein's assistant guy that Torture has actually is able to speak normally, or actually speak because the guy hasn't spoken in the entire series, but now he is actually speaking. So there's even like a little joke about him sleep talk. He doesn't talk, but he does sleep talk. So yeah, I guess maybe this is meant to be like a little actually having the guy talk uh, sense, but regardless, then we go with the torture, and today's torture is gonna be melon bread. As the it is, we get the general stake. The top is like, oh no, I'm not going. Oh, it's super tested. Wait, no, I'm not going to submit. I'm not going to submit. But then Torture just tells how to. Well, Torture then tries to do her shtick, but the issue is the Torture is kind of too asleep to do this. So Princess just says, "Oh, I'll do it. You just tell me what I have to do." As Torture's like, "Thank you." And then Princess understands what Torture is saying about like putting the melon bread in aisle 4 and then putting it into a microwave. I don't think that's really a safe thing, but maybe I'm confusing what material is being used there. But regardless, they put the melon bread in that, they put it in the microwave, they put it set the time, they are finished with that. They open the then the princess takes it, and she takes a bite, and she submits towards it, being like, "Oh, it's super tasty," because of course and it's like, oh, time to tell a secret. But then she looks at Torture, who is went back to sleep. Well, she went back to laying around because she's on the floor, sleeping like, Basically, she at this point it's less about torturing Princess, and more just a mother feeding her daughter. Because let's be sure, so that's more what Torture is doing at this point. I mean, remember that chapter where Torture went out and it was asking Princess, "Oh, do you want some kind of donuts on the way? Because there's a Dunkin' Donut on the road." So it's kind of like that. At this point, where it even acts like we're more her daughter, more her mother than anything else. So yeah, that's basically what's going on at this point. So Princess is then like when Torture being like, "Oh, she's asleep. So if I tell her a secret, it's pretty much going to be useless." "Oh, I'm just gonna write her a note and then give her to her, and she'll be able to pass it on later." Because yes, Princess is at this point so submissive that she's even going to be writing down notes for this stuff. Which at this point, actually, you just expect this to happen. I mean, she literally went on a vacation with Master Mama and left two notes on you for Dodgers to take. That's still gonna be one of the funniest ways that the princess submitted to torture ever. But anyways, with this chapter, with this time for torture princess out of the way, it's time to go into 100 girlfriends. Wait, well, 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. Chapter 195, titled "Sleepy Girl." Kind of funny how we have back-to-back two chapters with characters who are half the time asleep in their chapters, but whatever. So we start the chapter off with Renta walking around on the streets alone, which I'm a bit surprised there isn't an acknowledgement at this point by Renta that whenever he's alone, he's going to come across a new girlfriend. Like, I mean, that's the thing. 100 Girlfriend does not do a lot of self-referential humor, or they do acknowledge their own thing. I mean, I think in the last chapter with the alien, they even acknowledged, wait, no, in this manga, this animal that she found in the woods is probably gonna be something crazy like a bear or something, and then it will end up being an alien, basically being even crazier than they were expecting. So it's kind of funny how there is still no self-referential thing. Maybe it's going to be. I could totally see at some point the author being like, "Oh, wait, I'm walking on my own. This probably isn't a good idea." Although another possibility is like, Rento's like, "Wait a minute." Rento, one of his girlfriends, like, "Wait a minute. Whenever you're alone, you get a new girl. We better not leave you alone. I better take someone with me." or like I'm trying to wait a minute. Every time I'm alone, I'm and I have a new girlfriend. I should probably get to home my house immediately before he got a new girlfriend and he got a new girlfriend. I can always see something like that happening at some point, but we just have to wait for now because right now it's still gonna be we're still pretending that Rentaro alone does not equal new girlfriend. So, anyways, Rentaro is walking down the street. Blissman to that fact as he then sees a girl walking and she's clearly walking drowsy towards a construction site where one extremely old guy, a guy who should clearly take his retirement already, is standing in front of her with a drill pointed right at her as she is sleeping walking into the drill as Rento steps in to stop her from going there as the girl's like, oh, thank you, sorry, I'm just so sleepy. As they look at each other, they have the zing. And they scream, and then Rento screams, or someone screams at the old guy to point at that drill way since, it's a safety hazard. But yeah, anyways, this girlfriend then introduces herself as Nemu, and his girlfriend has like decently long hair that's I think teal colored or something. The Nakamura already, Nozawa already did the concept art for her. She was like a similar outfit style as Shizuku with a longer skirt and a blazer. Although, funny enough, Nemu, despite being a second year in junior high, yeah, she's the second, the same age as Rin and Uta. She actually has like a little bit more cleavage. So yeah, I don't think she's a MILF. I think she's more like a Mimi situation, but it is kind of funny since she's supposed to be like younger than Kurumi and Momiji, which is such a funny thing to think that there are some girlfriends like. Well, actually, now I think about it, don't Uta, Rin, and Nemo, all three of them look like they're older than Kurumi and Momiji. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like those three always feel like it's kind of weird how those three feel older than Kurumi and Momiji, despite those two being older. But regardless, Nemo recognizes Rento's outfit as the outfit of those of the high schoolers. And yeah, then they started talking as Nemo explains to us why she's so sleepy because she comes from a family of shoemakers, and right now, and her grandparents own the shoemaker business, and she always helped them since she was a child. But now that they are super old, because like, I mean, from what we've seen, they were already like like that age, even as grandparents. It's kind of like a cursory situation by all looks of things, where like the parents were already the grandparents were already very old before the grandchild was born or something. Think, but at least from what I can tell from the panels, she explains that they are so old at this point that their sight is becoming hampered, so they're not able to work as well as they could. So now she's taking over for her grandparents more, and now she's doing more work for the shoes. So she's kind of very busy, so she goes to sleep very tired a lot of times. As then she also mentions that she's so sleepy at some points that she falls asleep doing work. But luckily, when she wakes up, the shoes that she was working on actually are already finished, which she believes to be a fairy tale. The fairy tale about shoemaker and cobbler. As then we get to what I'm going to assume is like a new sort of trend we're going to be going with some of these girlfriends, or at least some girlfriends. And that's going to be if they are reference to some kind of fairy tale, so if there's some kind of fairy tale connection, we're gonna have Meru showing up in those chapters as she explains those fairy tales. Because when she explains how that she thinks, she and her parents think that, or grandparents think that there are fairies who are finishing the shoes they're working on, they explain. We have Meru jumping in and explain the fairy tale. So I guess that's what's going to be like a little running joke now. Basically, one of this just gonna be like a new girlfriend. Say, introduce chapter. This is gonna be like in general for every kind of fairy tale being referenced chapter. But we have to see on how much of a joke how much they're going to use this joke. So yeah. Anyways, she is then so tired that she's starting to collapse. Like it's like one of those things where she's just kind of going to sleep on the road as Rentaro is then like, all right, wait, should you really be sleeping on the road and all that? Isn't that kind of dangerous? As Nemo explains to him, oh no, this happens all the time, and you don't really have to worry about me. It's every day for me. As Renta was being like, girl, you are sleeping on the side of the road. Actually, I think it's like not even on the sidewalk. I think she's literally sleeping on the road. Clearly, I shouldn't be leaving you like this. Like, can I at least carry you to a bench so you will at least have somewhere that's a little bit more normal? But yeah, anyways, she agrees to that. I suppose carrying me to a bench is fine. As Nimoy wonders why he would go so far for her. But unfortunately now she's too tired to think, so she just goes to sleep. As then Rento sees how cheerful she looks when she falls asleep, like immediately, oh, too tired. And she starts to have a smile on her face, which Rento is kind of, oh, look at how happy she is. No wonder she said that that she loves to sleep a lot, since she's so happy in her dreams right now. She mentions that when she's talking about her giving her character traits and all that. But anyways, the inventor starts thinking, okay, where's the nearest bench that I could take her to? As then he looks at her again, but this time she's like standing up, all cheery and as she's super excited. He's like, wait, why are you standing up right now? Like kind of being getting nervous by this new girlfriend. He's like, wait, why are you so happy and cheery? Wait, didn't you go to sleep? Actually, you still look like you're asleep. Since she just grabs Rentaru by hand and she starts dragging him off. As Renta's like, wait, you want to sleep? Don't you want to go? Should we be looking for a bench or something? Or what's going on? And then she's like, oh, no, she speaks in like the way the characters speak when they are trying to imply they're snoring. So she's kind of just snoring and she's like, wanna go. So Renta kind of goes along with it and says, okay, this girl, I suppose it's gonna be safe if I go with her when she's like sleepwalking. I guess this is sleepwalking. As then Renta basically goes on a date. Like they immediately speed through their business, and we already have like a date chapter with these two. As we have Renta and her going to like they say arcade, so I guess there's like going to like there's one of those big arcade restaurant type of places. I don't know. I have in my where I live, we don't have arcades. I'm not entirely certain how these if it's standard like a kind of dating kind of restaurant kind of setting. But regardless, they go there. They have like a little dinner. They eat some kind of pin tower game, and they take pictures together. And yeah, they basically spend it all day together. It's like Renta's like, what the heck is going on here? So yeah, anyways, then they go to a bench that's made for drunks and salaryman. I'm expecting that this is also a moment that where Momoha is. I will not be surprised if in the actual chapter it's revealed that Momoha is also sitting late there. I always see them departing for the day, and then when I sees Momoha, is like, oh, you're also here, Momoha. I'll take you home as well. I'll take you back to your tent. Were you even here? You live next to the school for crying out. So yeah, anyways, they depart as Nemo wants. Well, not no, they don't depart. They then Nemo wakes up and is like, "I had the strangest dream." As they and she mention. Well, she actually does seem to be a bit aware that she's like, "Oh, was I sleepwalking just now?" And Renta's like, "Oh, this is an understatement in terms of sleepwalking." As then she starts talking. I had a dream about you and I going on a date, going to an arcade, I guess she has enough self-awareness to acknowledge it was more of a date than a just two friends going on an arcade trip. As then Renta thinks to herself, no, that didn't happen. But then Renta kind of said, he then kind of wants to ask something about Namu just to be kind of certain. And he asks her, say Namu, when you go to sleep while you're working on your shoes, do you dream about eating about making shoes and eating bread? Eating bread is because in the fairy tales, the way that the shoemaker thanked the elves was by giving them bread, so it's kind of a similar thing. So that's why there's like bread nearby. which Nemo says, yeah, she does dream about making shoes and eating bread, which basically confirms that, oh yeah, there are no fairies in this story. It's just that uh, it's just that her entire family. She even states that her entire family has had the same dream about making shoes and eating bread, so it's not less of a fairies being there and more like a oh, it's just a weird trait that the entire family has, like being super holy with Halazos or Karane having Karane's family all being Tsunderis. Even the pets that make absolutely no sense to be Tsunderis. So yeah, and babies, like babies don't even unable to talk yet, and they're already Tsuneri. So it's kind of a similar thing with Nemo, with all of her family dreaming and doing the activities they dream about, which is really down to earth when it comes to dreams when you really think about it. But regardless, she explains that, as then Rento contemplates if he should tell her about that, because if he does that, would that mean that fairies would stop existing or something? I mean, it is manga. Fairies showing up and becoming one of Rento's girlfriends is very likely, so yeah. He's kind of contemplating about that, but anyways, then anyways, Nero starts to kind of want to confess to Rento about them being together and going on dating. But the thing is, Nemu doesn't want to say anything that, and she does have something like, "Oh, we literally just met. It would be too soon if I came on him so strong." So instead, Nemu just wants to say things to how she could express her feelings, but it's like, wait a minute. Um, Wait a minute. If there's one thing I can do is make shoes. So if I do make shoes for him, maybe he'll then have return my feelings and maybe. So, anyways, she decides to make shoes and then wants to get in contact with them. So she informs them that if they can meet up later or another time, so they exchange information. I was kind of surprised that I guess because maybe it's because they are junior school, but I'm kind of surprised that she doesn't think. Oh, wait a minute, there is wait a minute. I believe two. Well, okay, we don't know if Ray and Uta and Nemo are all classmates, so it could be very easily a situation where like Nemo and Ray are one class, and then Nemo is another class. I don't know if I think next chapter very much implies that two of them are not in the same class, but maybe I'm blanking it. I'm not. I need to check to see if the chapter was already if the new chapter has already come out or not. But regardless, you kind of think that I would already know there is a boy from our high school that is that's 1 year that's first year that is kind of hanging out with juniors, but I guess that information wouldn't spread as far right now. But regardless, she wants to exchange information with him, so because that's the best way they can really communicate with one another. Is it crazy to think since it's not they can come across each other in the school since Kurumi, that's literally how Renta met Kurumi. He went into the lunch to the store where they buy food, and then he saw Kurumi there. So they can get so they are able to come across each other in different school, even if they're not in the same school. Especially since I think the school is literally just like a more of a connection school. Like there was like one. It's like one of those weird schools where it's like one building that's uh, multiple school for the schools for different grades together kind of thing. But regardless, Rento Rento goes and regardless they change information, and then we have Nemo making shoes where she's starting to fall asleep, but then she wakes herself up and is like, no, I have to make these shoes for myself. I can't rely on the face for these shoes specifically. So she pitches her cheeks and gets ready back to work. As then they meet up as uh, in the same park that they met that Rento carried her, as then Nemo wants to give him her gift, but she's very embarrassed when it comes to her order. She's just like, I really want to give him, but I don't know how to. Oh my god, how am I supposed to be doing this? Because because Nemo in the shop is a lot more gloomy than is a very gloomy girlfriend. So she's not really confident, but then she falls asleep, and in that, the other personality, the sleeping movement, uh, wakes up takes over, gives shoes to Renta, and she does like love, love, love. Let's be date. Can we date? Can we date? Can we date? I think she even kiss. Actually, I think she also kisses him on the cheeks, well, on the lips. So yeah, uh, as then we have Nemo waking up, and she's like, "Oh, I already gave you the shoes. That's good. My apologies for your sleep." And all, and I've been wondering if we could go out, perhaps. Wait, no, you wouldn't want to go out with me. I'm such with someone as gloomy as myself. As Vento does her speech, no, I would want to go out with you. I'll be happy to go out. Or in fact, can we go out together? Together, like I would be very excited. And I can also, and he also thought that he could tell this was her handiwork. It wasn't her sleeping persona that took over and made these shoes. Like he can tell that she put a lot of effort in making these shoes. Suppose I wonder if those shoes are the same size as his feet, but I think they are. I think the next chapter confirms that she did get the size correct. But yeah, as Sorrento confesses to Nemo, she thinks, "Oh wait, no, this is just a dream. There's no way this would actually work. Like we just met. Like why would we both be on the same wavelength already?" But then Renta was to explain to her, "Oh yes, it is the same." As Nemo then just takes advantage of of the situation with her thinking it's a dream, so she's just like, "I might as well kiss you if you just if this is a dream." As then we get to the narrator box saying, it took some time, but Renta eventually convinced her this was a dream, and then Nemo used every fiber of her being to apologize, as Renta then put every fiber of his being to tell her, no, it's fine. So you don't have to apologize. Trust me, I've done this so many times at this point that I'm numb towards it. As then we end chapter on that, and next chapter we're gonna have the girlfriend sleeping. So yeah, get ready for a lot of pajama girlfriends. So yeah, anyways, that's the end of this chapter. As then we got to One Punch Man. Time to get some excitement down our spine, our blood. As we have One Punch Man, chapter 207, titled Bind. As we continued, as we go on, finally go get a full chapter of Empty Void versus Blast. I'm making it sound very excited, but the chapter itself is like very short and very little bit and very small about it. Is actually in a from a fighting perspective. It's mostly just like it just the beginning is I think just like a little bit of like empty void getting punched by blast until he's being sent into a crater. As then blast makes like uses his gravity powers to like bind empty void's arms as he's like covers like he makes like gravity circles and throw spheres and throws them at empty void in his hands and his torso, well, to like hold him down, like and also explains to us that the reason why so a lot of empty void's techniques come from the hand signs he makes with fingers. So if he holds them all down with gravity, he will not be able to use his technique and his powers, so he should be restrained now. As Buzz starts explaining to Empty Void that that he waited 15 years for this, and that he got in he doesn't say direct. It's like one of those like you hint at the force behind the other heroes behind Blast. The same way how in that battle against Saitama and Garo, there was like actually I think before they did the restart, they had the whole thing uh, with the heroes that are with Blast, like this black hole something is happening. We gotta help Blast by taking the burden or something away. With that Boros Loki motherfucker being there as well, as as this is like meant to be a hint, as Blast wants to say this guy's name, like, this guy, that this individual will be able to like reverse that whole, what God did to you and all that. Like you be go back to being my comrade essentially. As then as he tells that to Empty Void, Sonic and Flash on the other hand just wanna kill Empty Void, so they send his needles at him. Well, as then Flash just blocks them away, like, no, stop it, you don't interfere, you two. This isn't your. He wants to shoot these two away. Since the plan is capture Empty Void, purify him and get him back on their side, not killing him, which is something that the Sonic and Flash question, like, why don't you want to kill him? Because again, like, as it was revealed, I think more clearly in the manga that the Empty Void and Blast were friends, like they were hunting together until the disappearance, until Empty Void became what he is now. So yeah, but anyway, anyways, we have while Blast is being distracted, Empty Void revealed that he can with this new power that he's actually able to like stop the gravity powers that the gravity restraint that Blast gave on him that were holding him down. So he has like he like eats the gravity that was like pushing his chest down to the floor, and then also like the gravity circle spheres that were holding his arms are being depleted. So he's able to do the hand signs again. So he's able to escape his bindings. As again, Flash and Sonic asked why isn't he trying to kill him? As then Empty Voice uses Dimension Slash to slice it down, but it just misses them. So like there's a very epic shot of the terrain, how much the world just kind of got split because of Empty Void's slashes. Kind of a cool looking attack. Because we end the chapter because the chapter is very short, and I'm guessing what what one is doing right now is making shorter chapters so he can actually have a bit more of a release schedule. Because I wouldn't be surprised if some people are a bit getting annoyed about how long a lot of this is taking. Like, I mean, we got it, peak artwork, but dude, you redo stuff, you start from the beginning, you can't, and you generally take forever to get even with the story. Can we please progress at least a little bit? So I can totally see like the people behind One Punch Man, I think Shueisha, being like, all right, can you at least do like short 7-page chapters or something, so we can get some content on a regular schedule. So yeah, that's kind of the situation right now with the One Punch Man, and that's how we ended this up with. As then after One Punch Man, we cut to Chain Soldier, chapter 143, titled Mercy. It's not the type of mercy you think of. It's completely a completely different type of mercy. So, yeah, anyways, like I was hoping for, we cut to the gods, and they're kind of okay. In one way, I'm very happy about this chapter because we cut to the gods. What I thought was very necessary, so we'll get actually more opinions and more perspective from the gods. The issue, however, is this is more of a chapter that's just supposed to give us some proper fan service, since the last couple of chapters were relatively light on fan service. So this chapter is just there to give us more fan service, and so while the characters, namely the gods, with wild Fukuma's offsprings or whatever they're called, are playing in the rowboat, like the children that they are, which again, okay, this is important. I would say confirms that the reason why they are not present or nowhere near whenever there was like a thing, whenever Yuki does his things with Kusetsu and Fukuma, is because these two are playing somewhere. Because in the same sense as like when they were like watching when they were learning that there was about the ceasefire, they were sleeping in pajamas next to them. Probably were kind of like watching a movie. The two just got tired and went to bed, in a sense. And now they're playing on the rowboat. So so it seems like whenever they're not present, it's like they're playing somewhere or something. But yeah, anyways, the gods are discussing it about what's currently going on, and they are like, "Oh, so we can tell that Shinoko-san has some kind of scheme going on, and whatever that scheme is, it will probably not work if Kyoka and Yuki win this. Like, if Kyoka becomes the chosen, it's definitely not. They are definitely not. It's not gonna work out, and Shinoko's plan is gonna go to the wolves essentially." As they wonder what it could exactly be, as Ryren is surprisingly showing a bit of intellect, or at least some ability to analyze the situation, as he tells Fukuma and Kusetsu, consider, well, if the plan that Shinoko came up was not deadly enough and brutal enough, I doubt that Taikyo would exactly not calm down and start giving divine revelation. Again, take him note the fact they still, even after seeing these feats from Ran, they are not thinking that Ran could beat Taikyo. Just reminding everyone to keep in mind. Just in case anyone's wondering, feel like I need to keep this in mind to everyone so they all understand that there is, you know, so they'll not start screaming whenever their OP character gets beaten. So, remind you, they do not view Taikyo Ran above Taikyo so far. So regardless, Ryan says that if it's not satisfactory, Taki will not allow and will just start delivering divine punishments, meaning that it has to be, meaning that chances are that it has to be Jakun's ability, referring to him making curses and all that. It has probably grown since we last saw him, and now he's making something kind of curse that's going to be so catastrophic that it satisfies Taikyo's wrath. So yeah, they pretty much figure out what the Shinoko's plan is going on and what they're playing. They don't know exactly the details, but they can again put the think pieces together. Which again, I'm surprised Ryan is the one saying this because Ryan is kind of the Nappa, the Yami kind of guy here of this series, so it's kind of interesting seeing him being so tactical. I mean, David Number was also very tactical, but it's very rare for these types of characters to have like moments where they're like, hmm, logistically speaking, this does make sense. So yeah, so yeah, so they kind of on the similar wavelengths right now. As then, so yeah. Then they're like, oh, but still, I mean, we want to vote for. We really do hope that Ryan is gonna win, but they're not gonna, be easy against Ryan, or they're gonna be able to deal with Ryan that easily. And then they even start talking about, well, then we get basically the dialogue that's meant to sequence into a fan service, as they talk about how determined Yuki is to beat Ran in this situation, so they will not, the Shinoku plans would be foiled. As they cut to last night, where we had Fukuma's hands being handcuffed together, as Yuki's like, "What's going on?" As I guess they're doing a certain like a kind of a submission play going on here, with Kusetsu saying, "Well, tomorrow you're gonna be fighting against Ran, right? So it only makes sense that we start building up your resistance so you'll be able to put her in her place." As Yuki's mind goes into the naughty stuff instead of the actual proper stuff, as Kyosetsu tells him, "Oh, consider this mercy from the gods." As Yuki's like, "I would rather have my mercy just being intel," which, alright, Yuki, I know that you come from a world where tricking information out of women is probably not meant to be a good thing, but I feel like in this situation, it's more just you being a lazy idiot who doesn't want to learn anything from, like, interrogation tactics or information gathering tactics. Like, you can clearly, I mean, you know them better. I mean, even they themselves admit that he knows them and understands them better than, well, the best of any human. Man, and he should like generally get like be able to like figure out how he could like have them give information they could use against the others to the gods. Like I imagine that if Yuki asked, "Oh, by the way, I'm curious, what kind of bad tricks do Shinoku, the dragon lady, and Shinoku and Juryu, and any other gods of Thunder have?" I'm just kind of curious. I mean, you're all fucking me anyway, so I might as well get myself prepared what the real deal is gonna be later, or what to expect from the real deal. Yeah, I feel like that would be kind of a way to get a bit more of an understanding of these, or at least find out, alright, we know of those two, but is there any other woman that we should know of? Like, and who knows, maybe they'll be able to get Taiki or Naohime, or like, They were real, oh, we can't do that to Taikyo so much, she's gonna kill us if she learns of this stuff. Uh, so he could like get kind of a nervous reaction, especially since it does seem like the gods are not aware of everything that goes through Yuki's mind. The way this chapter unfolds and the way they kind of witness everything going on seems to very much be they see what's going around not, Yuki, but they themselves don't know. So yeah, I really do have to question on why exactly they are acting so why he's not trying different tactics. But regardless, Kusetsu is not here for this kind of talk. She's here for fan service. So she uses her powers to take control of Yuki's body so he can start having his fan service scene as he starts fisting Fukuma between her legs and touching her breasts and then kissing. As then Kusetsu also wants to join in on the fun. As then, when Kusetsu joins in on the fire and shows us how skilled his hands are, which is under Fukuma says, because Kusetsu asks, "How does Yuki feel?" Hands feel, and she says that they are very skilled. And then when she goes kissing Yuki, Kusetsu's like, "Oh yeah, his hands are very skilled." As then the bindings weaken, and Yuki's able to break off the control that Fukuma Kusetsu had him under. As then he's like, yes, I'm free. As then he reveals that when he was like breaking out, he was also kind of like destroying their shirts, and they revealed their cleavage. As in Yuki is angry, he starts to like stop messing with me as he starts chasing after them. I guess they also handcuffed Fukuma while they were being chased by Yuki as they playing a little game of catch. As then Yuki declares to Fukuma that this training is pointless because the real Ren has a completely different presence to you. So I guess it's supposed to become an insult to Fukuma, but Fukuma's like kind of just chill about it. She's like he said that like a wimp. As Ryan thinks it's kind of pathetic. That it's kind of pathetic. Or that it's pathetic. So yeah, they're not really kind of taken aback, which is again kind of raises the question like, what are the actual views on Rance? They don't seem to be that intimidated on her. And even this presence that they are referring to, is there something else about it that's supposed to be? Yeah, of course I'm not going to have the same presence as her. I'm literally just taking her form because I like her. It would basically be like if I took any other woman's form. I'm not gonna have the same presence as they do. So yeah. But anyways, then we have uh, Fug, the gods looking around themselves to be like, this place has sure grown ever recently, huh? It has so much more in it than just what it had previously, where it was just basically this village. As then Fukuma wonders, is this perhaps because of the blessings? Did we give him more blessings than we expected? Which Kusetsu pretty much confirms, yeah, we gave him more than we expected. So as then Scott's them to start talking about however this battle unfolds. If they want to win, Yuki is gonna be the key to their victory here. So I guess we're finally going to see what these gods' blessings are gonna be. Since so far there hasn't really been any kind of change in power, and also again kind of confirms that the gods do not know what blessings they'll give them. Which makes me kind of again wonder where does their basis on blessings truly come from? Possible foreshadowing for future minions? I don't know, but I feel this is might have something to do with this because again, they don't seem to be aware. I mean, they know they're giving Yuki powers, but they don't know what they are giving him. But yeah, anyways, this is just more supposed to be more hype for the next chapter to see what Yuki's gonna do, and I really do wonder what we're getting because again, so far we haven't had anything. Remember, like Valera's ability was so powerful, but yet they explain, oh no, that was just Valera's the ability he got from Valera. That had nothing to do with our blessings. So what the hell? So what are these powers? But anyways, we're gonna have to wait and see before we get to know what these blessings are. So yeah, anyways, that's the end for Chain Soldier. As then we get to Chainsaw Man chapter 182, titled Cute, which is a rom-com chapter. Let's be to be honest with us, this is a total rom-com. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off with the two of them still kissing until then she pushes uh, though Euro stops kissing him, as Danji's like, why did you just kiss me? As then basically start talking like they're in a rom com. As you tells him that your sad expression was cute, so it kind of made me want to kiss you. Do you want to keep going? And then they do keep going, but that just after some time, Danji brings himself back to earth and he pushes you off him, as he says that he can't deal with this. Like, why do you go off? Why does she go on him so much? And every time she goes on him, she just has to. He just starts thinking about sex. But every time he does that, then horrible stuff happens to him. So it's like he can't really focus. Like he wants it, but every time it happens, or even it's close to happening, it always ends up horribly for him. So it's hopeless. The guy starts to talk about to what he thinks is Euro about she views it as then there's causes a well, I'm guessing Asa taking over the body, and she's starting to talk about how she understands being in such a horrible living situation, thinking that everything that just goes every time something goes right, it always ends up going horrible, and she has had similar experiences. As then Euro takes over and tells them, but I got over it. Everything was fine. Later, which then causes Danji to ask how things got better and fine, which then Oz just punches Euro in the face so she can take over control of the body, so you is gonna stop interfering. I'm guessing this is what's going on, because like we don't see the face, so it's kind of difficult to tell if it's you also Euro, but I'm gonna say it's supposed to be also taking over, just like she doesn't want to look direct in the face. And she explains to Danji that she never really got over it. And what she's referring to as she talks about it is that when she was with her mother, they were running away from a devil. And she tripped on that day, and her mother tried to protect her. But when she tried to protect her, the devil caught up and killed her mother, but also managed to run away. So she always thinks about like what would have happened if she was faster. Would happen if she wasn't going to trip, or what all going through all of these scenarios that to her at least think like there was a chance for Ma to survive, but it didn't. But it don't really matter, because all it makes you is make you feel worse about yourself. So as I explained, that she could never have really gone over it. You can't really get over stuff like this. But then she explains to Denji that she actually learned something from Chainsaw Man. And she's like, yeah, life is shit, but there are gonna be stuff in life that you're gonna be very, wanna experience, wanna witness, you would like to have, even if you have to eat a lot of shit sandwiches beforehand. Referring to the Fallen situation where, she was about to fall to to dinner plate on one level, but then but then she called her and he was talking about that lie about how there's something you would still want, and that did resonate with her, even though she did have like a little bit of a ew gross with her whole having sex with situation. But regardless, she says that's worth living, as Danji hears this, which I guess is important for Danji to be reminded of such stuff in the current situation, because he's very much in despair. Like he views his life right now from a point of view of, oh, every time something good happens, something bad happens. So it's in a very negative viewpoint. But now he has like the same viewpoint, but in a more positive sense. And these are the words that he used himself. So yeah. But anyways, as Danji is talking, is processing these words, he's actually starting to buff out the Snow Devil's hat. As he does this, we have snow coming into this world uh, that the aging devil created. So we have And as the place starts to snow, we start a flashback where we see the final page we see Aki and Power again in a very clear flashback to when they were all together. So all the fans of Power and Aki can now be very hyped for the next chapter because we'll be seeing them after. Actually, how many volumes is it? I think the last time we see the two of them was now we probably saw them since volume 11, and I think we are currently on volume 17, 19 on that time period. So yeah, almost a little bit shy of 10 volumes or so. So yeah, yeah, this is gonna be. I can imagine a lot of people are gonna be very excited for the next week's chapter when we finally get to see these chapters again and all that because like it is like one of those weird things in these types of series where like you want new when you have like multiple parts in one story. It's always kind of more exciting for the old characters than for the new ones because old characters always just feel better developed and better fleshed out than the new ones, which I can kind of agree with it. Like outside of Asa and Euro, I don't really think anyone really, these new characters in the part two have really been the most best. I mean, family is too much of an unknown. Public Safety Commission is a bunch of dicks. We have the Father Trio, the Hugh Mitchell Trio, and weird Nail Fiend. Not really the most flashed out characters and the most interesting and most want to see characters, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. No, as well, I think they might escape. I'm going to assume that there's some kind of like the devils at Danji 8 have some kind of way they can like because they got in through indirectly, like they were just kind of pass along us. They'll be able to like affect this world. So what they might do is bring on a bunch of other devils that could possibly change things, aka Euro's comrades, which is one of them is because none of them were free right now. I'm not. Hell, you even says she wants nuclear war weapons that were out, so they'll probably try to do ways they can get all of these devils out of danger so that he could affect the environment. It's if the snow devil is able to affect the environment right now, then the other devils should also be able to impact the environment. They could probably damage the world that AGM created, so they can get out of it. But yes, anyways, we're gonna have to wait and see if that's the case or that's what we are building up to. It could just be for dramatic effects or something, or symbolically or something. But anyways, I'm kind of going from what I see right now. We are probably just gonna have them be puked out so they can affect stuff. Is it they're all just gonna regenerate in aging world devil's world, or if they're just gonna come back? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how the snow devil deals when he gets regenerated. So yeah. Anyways, after the Chainsaw Man situation, we get to something more wholesome with Rui Dragon chapter 24 titled Kinda Gross. Why would having horns be gross, not just scary or creepy or something like that, but whatever. Anyways, we start this chapter off with a different first year class as uh, as Rui went to where one of the girls that was making fun of her horns is a student there, and she asks them if they can get her for her so they can have lunch together as Suri invite it's Kamata to have a chat, which Kamata is embarrassingly kind of going along with it. As Kamata asks why she have to come here, what was the chat about? As Rui just revealed that she want to hang out to like talk, which Kamata first wants to get away, but Yuri tells him no because let's hang out together. As they start eating together, as Rui first wants to apologize about that prank about breaking her horns and all that type of thing, which uh, Kamata's like, well, yeah, that was super embarrassing and stuff. Like, you really didn't have to hang and attack me like so, and I wasn't even expecting it from someone like you. So, yeah. Anyways, it's not talking about how about Rui and how weird it is, and Rui even asks her, "Oh, what do you think of my appearance? Do you think?" And she basically goes off everything her classmate told her, like how she's creepy, gross, kind of scary, and all that, a monster, stuff like that. And Scott also I wasn't going that far. I mean, yeah, the horns were gross, but there's no reason to call it like that. As we also offers her some of her lunch, and then Kamata offers her some of her sandwich. So yeah, and then Kamata explains she kind of just thought, it was kind of weird, like you're only an unknown student, but now you have horns and all, and not to mention the implication of bestiality with you being half dragon, which Louis does explain that. Yeah, I thought of that as well. I didn't want to talk about it. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like my mom may have actually fucked a dragon. So yeah, I mean to be fair, dragons are known for shape shifting, so there might be some normal stuff, but whatever. So they talk about it as they have a bit more heart to heart. As then Rui says, "Oh, you don't know much about me? Well, anyways, I don't mind telling you everything." As then she kind of jumps up and she like does like a little thing where she like sparks out of her eyes and fire out of her mouth. It's like, "All right, I'll reveal all to you to all my traits. Keep the acid one away, Rui, just to be said. Like I mean, even if it's just like hallucination, I think having acid around is really a good idea." So yeah. Anyways, then we cut away from this dialogue and what the Rui told her about. It's probably just re-interrogating all the information that we've learned throughout the chapters. As then we gathered and announced that the characters are reaching their final diet preparation as they like bring all the stuff out and preparing the signs and all the stands and all that. As we have the characters also getting the shirts that the classes are gonna be wearing. As the pigtail girls puts the shirt on, asking if she can only wear the shirt, as everyone knows that she's gonna put on the shirt regardless. So she puts the shirt on, and then goes to. They have some shirts for the people who are currently working on the for the team that are currently building stuff and preparing the field day, as they have. As we have them coming to them, but they see that all of the staff or the extra helpers are wearing horns that are very clearly supposed to mimic Ruri. As they're like, as the girl tells asks Mido about this, and she tells them, well, usually us on the committee are wearing headbands, but this time we decided that it would make more sense for the theming and for the what's been going on, just wear horns, since horns kind of stand out even more than handbands and all that, which the Pictos wants to wear, but Mario doesn't want to give her because only members of the committee can wear them. So yeah, we got to Komata and her friend and Rui as they're like setting up the flag. Escalante is very embarrassed about having those horns. And Rui is like, wow, I can see why you guys felt it was kind of gross. Is gross meant to be more like a slang thing, or is it meant to be digging literal? Like, I'm just kind of questioning at this point if it's like, which one of the two is it? But anyways, the girl, the friend, starts to laugh at Kamal, saying, yeah, these horns do not look good on you regardless. Which then causes Kamata and Yuri to ask them whose side is this girl anyways, because she's kind of attacking everyone on this subject. But regardless, we have Kamata and Yuri coming to a better understanding together, as then they are putting the final no piece of the event together. As then they put up the big sign, which is a very over top art of the dragon, and again being there as they have like a little motivation poster as like be as ferocious as a dragon or something like that. As the girl that's been coming up with the artwork and on the start with it, being kind of embarrassed with like, all right, this is my piece of artwork. I honestly was expecting it to be this grand, as mine as just looking at her, being like, yeah, this is your be part of this work. So yeah. Anyways, that's uh, anyways we they end this chapter on this note with them all looking at that posture. So yeah. Anyways, and now to the penultimate chapter of the week with Mieruko-Chan, chapter 61. Now titled again because Mieruko-Chan for some reason does not want to have titles. But anyways, we start this chapter off where we last left it off with Mr. Sato wanted to talk with Miko as she's kind of looking at the side, and she's like, okay, I should probably get away. As Sato's like, oh, hello, Miko, I'm happy to encounter you. Anyways, we're gonna order some. We've been ordering some snack. Would you perhaps want some snacks while we're talking here? As Miko kind of wants to get all is very awkward in this situation. Kind of wants to get away because it's a bit because she like just entered the wrong way. She doesn't want to be a bother. But anyways, then Mr. Sato explains, oh, these I'm not a keen on snacks myself, but these guys just can't get over it. As Miko's like, these guys looking at all the weird figures, the man in black type of weird beings that are there that are surrounding Mr. Sato. As then Mr. Sato says, "Oh, how rude of me not to introduce everyone." As then he states, "Oh, I am Mr. Sato. I'm a company man, and these guys are let me get all these. One of them is Ayama, completely opposite of Ayama from My Academia. One is Umura, one is Fujioka, one is Buete, and one is Raida. So these are like all the guys as then also the guy from then also one of uh, the people one of the people then one of the staffers comes to bring a bunch of desserts to Mr. Salt. Is like, oh yes, over here. As he sets everything up because I guess he just thought, oh, this old guy's probably just gonna be here for a while and just order himself a lot of sweets. I suppose he would want so many sweets. But anyways, then the guy just leaves, and the staff doesn't even notice me. I guess Migo was just in the corner quietly, staring at what was going on. As Sato just giving every one of those three their snacks they ordered. As then Miko think again wants to just escape. As Sato asks, huh, that's odd. Didn't you have to, didn't Ron said you had the side. Do you not see these guys? You might even praise your side for what that's worth. As Miko immediately thinks to herself, you know Rom, and he also mentions Mitsuyo as that gets Miko's she gets Miko's attention. He's like, wait, you know these two? So I guess we can talk normally because, from what she understands is this guy's kind of like, this guy's at least on the know-how. She doesn't have to keep it hidden from him like she has to keep it from Hana and... Actually, it's kind of a weird thing because when you think about it, she's kind of keeping things hidden from Julia as well, but she knows Julia is aware of this. She just doesn't want to I get not wanting to tell Julia that there are like bigger ones and the most terrifying ones because she doesn't want to explain those to her. But like, it's kind of weird. She also kind of wants to keep Julia out of the loop. I guess because Julia was kind of want to expose this stuff, so she wants to. So it's probably best not to set this like greater level than she has right now. But regardless, regardless, now that she's aware that Isato is aware, she's kind of going along with them. And she doesn't say that she sees them. She's kind of just okay. You know them, so you can probably guess that she saw them. She just didn't want to mention them. But anyways, then Sato explains to her, "Oh yeah, Rom asked me to take a look into this." As he points out the picture that Rom had to hide his eyes. Is that do you see this? As as he shows the picture with Michiro there and the old guy. As then Miko Sushi realizes that's the picture that he's shown her, she like turns around and looks down because that's what the how Rom was with this picture because like you shouldn't be seeing it. As then I see that Rom taught you. I see that Rom taught you a few things. You learned some things from Rom. As then Miko asks Sato if he's also sees an old man because Rom said that everyone sees him differently. So whatever Rom sees, it's implied to be a very horrific creature, a creature that you should be looking at. As Sato explains to Miko, oh no, I actually don't see anything. I don't have the sight. As then we got to this panel when everything's gone, like we see how from Sato's perspective, like he just sees Michiru as she is. He doesn't see any kind of ghost behind a ghost old man behind her. He doesn't see like five people, five men in blacks behind him. He sees everything normally, which is kind of surprising. And then we gotta get like a bad idea of Sato's ability because he clearly is aware of it, but he doesn't himself seem to know what there's you know, but he also does not see. Then while they're talking, that goes, the one in the last chapter, I swear to God, reminds me of some kind of creepypasta character, but I cannot put my fingers on which one shows up as Sato explains to her that, can you please open the door? Because like one of the ghosts tells him, hey, there's a spirit here, we should finish it off. But it'll probably get you to her to believe you more if you know what my drift. So Sato encourages her to open it. Miko doesn't want to because of obviously, as he just says, "Oh, just a little open, and just like like a little bump should be fine." As Miko does, which is causes this ghost to come inside. As Seto walks towards this ghost, and he like goes for like one hand, and he destroys that hand the same way how he destroyed that little girl, which this pisses the ghost off and starts to scream attack, which Sato is then like, oh, I guess that wasn't the main body, just like piece of it. So implied like, like some of these ghosts are like multiple parts, could have just have fake parts and fake parts that are really connected. And this was the one that human had that was like, rocking, rolling as they were taught in the last chapter. So there's like, oh, I guess I get it wrong, but then this ghost jumped in the air and started screaming, which did affect everyone in the room. So this actually was something I got a conversation about with my friend about Mieruko-Chan's ghosts. Like, where is the danger? Because it doesn't seem to be any kind of danger. I mean, people pass through these ghosts all the time and all, but there doesn't seem to be any damage. But this time it's kind of confirms there are ghosts that can hurt. Because we see both Miko and Sato all again and be like, being affected by it. And Sato isn't, able to see them. So he shouldn't be, so even it's some kind of blessing from being able to see that it allows, well, one of the consequences of having the ability to see causes you pain, it's clear that he's not in pain, much in pain. So yeah. Anyways, Sato is then being told from the other ghosts, alright, this is where the place is, or actually more likely to say is like the other ghosts, the Black Man in Black, are able to counterattack on this ghost. So, which grants Sato the ability to grab this ghost by a leg and push it down and then evaporate it. As we get like what I'm going to assume is an attempt to make us feel bad for this ghost, because as we get like a close up of the eye as it's looking at Miko, as Sato just brutally finishes it off. Probably it's to be like I guess this is meant to be more like a sort of ambiguity towards Miko, because Miko has no idea who this guy is. She has no pre-established reasoning to trust or not trust this guy. All she knows is that he's at least aware of everything that's going on. So she isn't going to be having any kind of red flags, which is probably going to be a problem later on, since as we've seen with Ram, when Sato wanted to meet with him, Ram was like, "This is the location I want me to meet at. Okay, this is the location that Mr. Sato wanted me to meet him at." He went to this place. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not meeting him here alone." And he went, the whole. Then we saw them meeting each other in the chapter. So yeah. We also have a stay in this chapter that Ram and Mitsuo had known this guy for a while, because he refers to Ram as like he was such a cute little boy at the beginning, because he was just kind of always with Mitsuo and all that. So this guy and Ram and Mitsuo have a longer history with one another, so he probably is a bit more aware of what kind of person Mitsuo is, or at least how brutal he is. Because remember, like, he's effortlessly killing them. That and his view on people with the side is quite question. It's very much negative if the implications are to be believed. So, anyways, this kind of display does win Miko a bit of like, I would say she trusts the guy, but she's at least aware of him, and she's kind of like, if he shows up again and wants to talk to her, she would not be not go against it. Like if she sees one of those men like waiting outside, looking at her through the window, she'll probably go down to see if she can like see if he's nearby, and they'll probably have a talk. And him say, "Oh, my apologies, I sent one of these guys for you. It's just that I don't know how best to communicate with you." But regardless, Satu right now says to her after he kills this ghost to that she should go back to her friends. They'll talk later, and this is more of just a bit of a. I wanted to see what kind of person you were because Rom said he wanted me to look into some stuff. So just to be, it's best that we are all on the same page with one another on this type of stuff. So yeah. Anyways, Miko then goes out of it as then. Oh no! Actually, Miko gets out. Her phone rings as she's that Hana sent her a message asking her where she is. Sato tells her, "Oh, I go back to your friends. My apologies for taking for distracting you. I probably should. I mean, you got here accidentally because this you see the same number. So my apologies. Just we'll talk later, basically." As Miko then leaves, as then they come and they say, "Oh, she just wandered off in the wrong apartment," as they go back to partying. As then we have Sato like talking to herself, being like, "Huh, so this is Miko, a sweet and cute little girl, just like Ramitsuyu were." Which is unfortunate since I side with humanity in this. So yeah, which in these statements basically confirm that Sato does not view at least that's the way I'm interpreting this. This implies that Sato does not view people like Rom, Mitsui, and Miko as human. So at the bare minimum, he doesn't view them on the same side because he specifically says that he's not on their side. Because remember, Miko doesn't want to get involved because every time she kind of she first wanted to avoid them. Then when the first goal that she did, oh wait, I will consider helping you. It was an enemy that wanted to kill her, which she only survived because Michiro was hiding under her bed in a hospital, like you do. So she didn't. So Miko's definitely not. She kind of wants to just stay away from all this stuff for the most part, but she's kind of being forced into these scenarios because she knows there's something that's been going on. Look at her. Like the couple times where she has directly wanted to confront these spirits was when Hana was at least from Miko's perspective in danger. So from that viewpoint, this guy's probably gonna try to do something to Miko, or at least going up against her in some form of way. I mean, granted, this is a series that's kind of antagonist. I'm not the traditional antagonist, but there's definitely gonna be a so there's definitely going to be more of an antagonistic force in Miko's story right now. We want to see what he's gonna plan to do. But hopefully, Rom informs Miko as soon as possible that, yeah, whenever he says he wants to meet you, make sure you inform me as well, and I'll inform him that she told me about the meeting, and I would like to be present. Just I don't think it's I don't think it's safe to have a high school girl who wants to avoid this life be with us. You get what I mean? Since Sato that does seem to at least be somewhat understanding of the reason why people like Ram would be skeptical of him. So I could totally see Sato be like, "Sure, Ram, don't mind you coming along." So yeah, we're gonna see how that's gonna unfold. But anyways, with Mieruko-Chan all the way, it's time we talk about the final series of the week with That Rock Chapter 17 titled AG and Dust. So the two guys who've been throughout this entire little tournament arc appearing throughout the story, we get a bit more of an explanation on their relationship and probably to make the fight between IG and Yakuto a bit more dramatic. Or at least that's what I'm going to assume is going to be the final fight before the meeting with the god. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off with the information that whoever wins this tournament is going to have a chance to talk with God and potentially kill him. As then Yakuto is like, wait, if I want to wait, this is a battle to the death, but one of the opponents I could be fighting is Freya, meaning I have to kill a friend. So what am I supposed to do there? As Freya understands where Yakuto's confliction here, as she hugs him from the back, which we have a shipping moment between these two. As Farah tells him, all I care about is killing Loza and getting vengeance on my, because of, on my for my sister. Nothing else. If you kill me, if I die to Loza, I want you to kill him to get payback for what he did to me and her. If uh, if I kill him, I'm satisfied afterwards dying because at least I'll avenge my sister. So don't worry about that. You have your own goals that you want to take. You have your own people you want to avenge. Just focus on them. We'll get to that when it's gonna come down towards it. But for right now, let's just achieve our goals and deal with it later. So basically, Yakuto is going to be very focused on to get Yakuto back on focus on his mission. As then we get caught to RG and that's talking as it's like, so we are going to have a battle to the death, huh? I guess it was only a matter of time before one of us killed the other. But rest assured, it's going to be you and me killing each other. As we get like a bit of a, like the classic, oh, these two are these two are friends, very clear, but they're also like rivals to the bitter end, so we have they're retailgating all their basically explain these two characters since these two kind of like been more the focus so far in the story. So yeah. Anyway, so after these two's conversation being rivals, we then cut to have God and Lilith talking as God asks her, "Hey, who do you think is gonna win this battle?" And Lilith says, "Lausanne is the obvious choice." But there is that human who killed that student that killed the vice principal. So one of those two is our top contender here. And it's gonna come down to these two. Which I don't know if this means that Freya is gonna fail her goal or not. Since like we have it. I mean, again, like is Freya going to die and then be used against Yakuto or not? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see until the battle, which is unfortunately going to be the final one. But we're gonna have to see what we're gonna get. So yeah, we have to see on that side. But regardless, then Lilith looks. Then we have a bit of a. We didn't have the battle kind of be entering. We have Dest and Yakuto entering the field to begin their little fight. As then we have them like about to begin fight, but it's like one of those annoying things where it's like the two are gonna be in the field to prepare for the fight. But we know immediately get into the two fighting, it's like we got away a bit more from the characters as we didn't got to raise it look we didn't have like the characters well we have Choco being like, don't worry, even if you lose we will comfort you, but happy was it the goal and he's like, no, he's gotta be that, are you stupid? As Riz is like, hey, Migato, you sure got banged up, or you sure got put for a ringer in that tournament, referring to Mikoto's clothing being completely destroyed because for some reason she didn't change her clothing. I guess was the big sis just damn getting out of the out of the battle arena because I still has ripped clothes and let loose hair with Mikoto asserting said, "Oh no, I simply I got I guess my causeway got busted up and all this, but do not worry, I got what I want. Got my payback." As she looks at as she looks at Boris or Borzan, the Kraken guy, teacher, which guys are being like, oh shit, she's looking at me. Don't worry, I'll serve you later because please just don't do anything. Which that panicking from Boris's expression, Lilith notices as she looks at Boris and is like, what's wrong, boys? That's like, oh no, fine, it's fine, it's fine. As Lilith says to herself, I have telekinesis. I can read your mind to see what's going on. As she reads Cracker's mind, she's like, oh, Ghost is attacking. I see. So, yeah, I don't know how long Boysen has to live now that she knows that he's working for her. But they are being Lilith is definitely gonna be playing a counterattack right now, but we're gonna have to see how that unfolds for currently. But regardless, the villains are aware of Ghost being involved and they know they have to plan against them. So yeah, anyways, then we have the match finally fully beginning as they go into a clash as the Gas goes to attack Yukito, but he wants to go for a block, but the Golem screams at him, wait! Das's roots are gargoyle roots. If he touches you, he turns into stone, so you shouldn't let him touch you. Which Yakuto immediately realizes, like, oh shit. As Yakuto starts dodging and avoiding Das's attacks. But unfortunately, he's not that limited. That isn't that limited in terms of powers because he's then able to use like a. I think he calls this something like Hades' punishment or Hell's strike or something, some kind of edgy name like that. As he then like makes like touches the ground and sets like some or the Hell's pillars or something. As he creates like stone pillars that all strike at Yakuto, as then we start this we start like a little flashback explain Ijo and Das's rivalry a bit better. As we see here, the two of them as kids on the 599th floor, I believe. As we have Das challenging Ijo to a fight, but constantly getting beaten by Edge. It's like one of those like one rival is clearly far superior, one's like a natural talent, the other one's like slowly going closing up, but it's always gonna be below. It's kind of like Magna and Luck kind of type of rivalry if I had to compare it to any type. But anyways, IG beats Dust over and over and over again, clearly saying that IG is the stronger one, like we could probably assumed. Just the way the tournament unfolded and all that. But regardless, we then have the two when they're like teenagers. Dust is finally able to get a scratch on IG. As then they have like a bit more of a normal friendship kind of conversation, be like, "Oh, you're so fucking strong, IG." As then IG tells them, "Oh, they are stronger than me. I mean, Cougar for one on the level of 362." As that's like, is then response with, "Hey, he's on a world that's close to the surface, so he's weaker, but I just like, oh yeah, he may be close to the surface than us, but he's actually a lot stronger because like that's kind of like the little metric for urban in terms of levels. Like the lower you are in the hell, like if you like the one floor is the weakest, and then 666 is the strongest floor, which is why Chalk was kind of a weird character because like she's from the lowest floor, so how powerful is why she's so not weak, but definitely not outperforming anyone in terms of power levels. So yeah, anyways, they he manages that, and then Angel says Kura went to the demon school institution to become a demon lord. So I'm going there as well to beat him. As that says, I'll go there as well so I could beat him, you and this Koga person. So kind of referencing back into when the two were first introduced, and they're both like, that guy from Class F defeated Cougar, huh? He took on our prey, so we'll have to take him down for return. And also in this chapter they say, oh, that guy took down Cougar. I'll get him down because if he took our prey, I'll get my vengeance. So yeah, we have Dust and Dust and again like just giving us a more of a rivalry sense from these two. As then we cut back to the present as Dust thinks to herself, "What's all that noise? Why do you think where's all the noise? Why do you think all quiet? Oh, right, I died." As we like get like a bit of a shot of what's going on around the battlefield, around the Colosseum, everyone's watching, cheering. As we see that Yakuto used his Dragon Claw to like punch that so much at his torso from, I would say, I think it's from the bottom, from below his upper jaw all the way to his torso and his I want to say it was his left side is like completely blown off as Yakuto then punches again to like completely blow off all of his body. I'm guessing that he chose that just in case, so Lozen isn't gonna be using some kind of his zombie army just in case or something like that, make it easier for Frey, or maybe he just wanted to like vent it all out of him or system or something. But regardless, that lost. It was a pretty clear kill, and yeah, as then Yukito departs the battlefield, as it's like, oh, Yakuto won. As then Yakuto, well, Arato sees Edgy because Edgy before that went to the battlefield was kind of talking with him. Oh, you better not lose because the final is gonna be you and I. but next time it's clear that that's couldn't, couldn't, prove, put his words where his actions are, or whatever that expression is called. As Yakuto passes age, is like, "Oh, I'll kill you too." As he has like a demented smile on himself. As Edge is like, "Oh yeah, we are gonna kill you. Yeah, I'm gonna kill. No, I'm gonna kill you, you bastard." Like the two of them are very clear in high emotions right now, and are very clear like, "Oh, super fucking, we are killing each other." So I'm guessing this means that whoever wins. Okay, I'm gonna because this in this implies gives me a strong vibe that it's gonna be Yakuto and Eiji in the finals, but like we have to see. I mean, I could totally see something happening. Like maybe Freya is so hurt after a battle with Lawson that she can't even participate in the next battle. It'll be like one of those things where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to drag her on the battlefield. Not even because she doesn't want to be in the battlefield, but because she literally can't physically move. So maybe that's how the finals is gonna be Edgy and Yakuto or something, but I don't know really. That's just what's going to happen up and all with, I'm guessing, RG versus Yakuto in the finals. Anyways, then we got to chapters. We got to a Magomegi, Magomege's place as she is open the God's book, and she's like, "Oh, this is God's weakness." I guess she just wanted to see it, like what's so worth all the drama and all that. So, yeah, she's now seeing the God's weakness. She's like, "Oh shit." Which I mean, I guess this means that she's gonna inform them what this weakness is. There's a lot of fears about it being the Death Rock school itself because you know how God was like, no, destroying the school property. Everything else is fine. Killing the teachers, killing the entire classes, everything's fine. But killing, destroying the school, that's where I draw the line. So that's what the theory is currently. But we're gonna have to wait and see if that is indeed the case. But yeah, anyways, that's the end for this week's manga saga this week. Anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you leave your thoughts on these manga chapters in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and give your thoughts on the series that you've read this week. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.